Hey, David, coming to you from my home in Atlanta. You know, we've woken up to a very special day in our country that we honor and celebrate fathers. And I have something very special I want to share with the fathers out there this morning. You know, a few years ago, as Gail and I were nearing that infamous empty nesting phase of our lives, I did some reflecting on the values and principles that we had established from the outset of our marriage and family that we stayed committed to throughout. And I came up with 5 core values or life principles. And it's that very first core value around which all the other 4 revolve that I want to share with all the fathers out there this morning. Whether you're father of a newborn, I'm especially talking with you, or of teenagers, or you have grown kids, maybe you're doing the grandparenting thing like I am. That very first core value that is foundational to everything, men and fathers, is that we need to establish our life and our family around and on the sure and trusted foundation of the Word of God, the Holy Scriptures. You know, as far as an encouragement, after almost 58 years of doing life, I've learned that there's 2 ways of viewing the world and living life. There's man's way and there's God's way, and there's a vast difference between the two in terms of the outcomes. One thing for sure, fathers, we do not have to train our kids to follow man's way. The world's doing a fantastic job of that, unfortunately, but we have to be intentional about teaching and training them in God's way. And after almost 30 years of having sought diligently, not perfectly, to lead my wife and family in those truths, I can tell you that there's nothing more satisfying and more fulfilling in life. Far exceeds any amount of possessions that we can amass or power and position that we can attain. Nothing that can compare to investing those truths into your family and see them turn around and start to reproduce, orient their lives around them, and then start to reproduce them in their own, children as well. And fathers, if your wife and your kids see and hear you being surrendered to the Word of God on a regular basis, they're going to follow you because you're the head of the house. The challenge that I want to issue out there this morning is that if the Bible, fathers, is not something that you're very familiar with or that you've been orienting your life around, that's okay. There's always a great time to start. And I want to issue a small challenge that could pay huge dividends for you. That is, you pull out a Bible. You might need to knock the dust off, but go find the Gospel of John. It's the 4th book in the New Testament. Start reading in the Gospel of John, just 1 chapter a day, as many days as you can over the next 30 days. It'll only take you 10, 15 minutes. And as you're doing that, be asking yourself each day, if this Jesus is the perfect sinless Son of God that he claimed to be, then what does that mean for me in terms of how I live my life and direct my family? Now, final word to you fathers that I want to throw out there is, if we, the fathers of this country, were to get as serious and committed to knowing and following and reproducing the Word of God into our families as we are our golf games and our sports teams, I guarantee you it would be game over as far as seeing the vast majority of the major problems in this country disappear, and we'd return to the peace and prosperity that we've known in previous generations. Well, that's my encouragement and challenge for you fathers. I hope you have a great day. God bless. Take care.